Hey friends, hey family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal Blue. I do Christian content and I also do what's called the Word of the Day. I also have videos and shorts of me and my family having fun together, and I also have inspirational shorts. So if you like what you see and hear, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For those of you returning, happy hump day. We made it. So today, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to be reading from 2 Peter, the first chapter, verses 3 through 4. And I could literally speak on this all day. Again, I was just talking to the Lord probably 10, 15 minutes before I came to do this recording. And I was just going over everything and reading it out and just speaking back, basically just reconfirming with the Lord, this is what this means to me. So again, it's 2 Peter, the first chapter, verses 3 through 4. We're going to read it and then we're going to get into it. It says, His divine power has given us everything we need for a godly life through our knowledge of Him who has called us by His own glory and goodness. Through these, He said He has given us His very great and precious promises, so that through them you may participate in the divine nature, having escaped the corruption in the world caused by evil desires. When I read this through the first time, again, like I always say, I have to read things several times. But when I read it just now, I thought about it. I said, God has given us everything we need. He has equipped us with everything we need in this life. There is this treasure inside of us. He has given all of us a gift, a calling, something that we are supposed to do. And it is our responsibility to steward that calling well. And the first thing that came to my mind was, if God has blessed you with a beautiful voice, like you, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Minnie Riperton, like you can hit all those notes, God has blessed you with that. You want to steward your voice in a way to where you're anointing people. Like people ask you to come sing at a church or sing at a funeral, so you can anoint these people with your voice. And I feel like that's you stewarding your calling properly. If God has given you the gift of you're good with numbers, like you're like Rain Man, you can do stuff and rouse off stuff in your head. If God has given you that gift, you should steward that properly by going out, volunteering, tutoring kids that have trouble in math. God has given each of us a specific gift. And, some of us haven't always tapped into our gifts properly. Some of us don't know what our gifts are at all. Another thing, if you are an orator, if God has given you the gift of gab, if you can speak in front of people and you don't have a problem with it, like myself, then you should steward that and go speak at conferences, talk about the Lord, become a pastor, be encouraging, be a mentor, do something like that. Because again, God has a calling on all of our lives and He has blessed us all with specific talents. And I think that we should use them for good, not for evil. A lot of people of this world, they don't know that their gift is supposed to be used for good and they're using it for evil instead. Now, I'm not judging and saying that secular singers are bad people, but they made the choice. And that's the thing. As earthly human beings, we have been given the choice to do certain things. So we can either make the choice to use our powers for good or for evil, just like Marvel superheroes. You can use your powers for good or for evil. That's how I look at it. We're like little miniature superheroes here on earth, and we can use our powers that God gave us either for good or for evil. If we choose to use those for good, then it says so that through them you may participate in the divine nature. So through these gifts and that calling, you can participate in the divine nature, having escaped the corruption in the world caused by evil desires. If you are using your powers for good, you're helping and you're not doing evil because you are doing what God called you to do. Unlike people who choose to use their powers for evil, they're going about the world and thinking of monetary gain, thinking, what can it get for me? The desires of the flesh. How much money can I get to do this? How many cars can I get? How many women can I sleep with? How many can I do? They're trying to think what they can gain for themselves. And they might have an amazing gift, but they're using it for evil instead of for good. So if you tap into that power which God has already given you and you use it for good, you'll be focusing on doing your calling and doing that good that you will be able to escape the things of the world and the evil desires, because you're going to want to keep doing that good. You are going to want to keep stewarding your gift well that he gave you. I know a lot of people that have gifts and they're afraid to use them. And I don't know why. Growing up, I was super, super shy. I never, like, when I was little, I was super shy. I would hide behind my parents' legs. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I started speaking at 18 months old, fluent sentences, and it freaked my parents out, but yet I was so shy. As I got older and came into myself, I realized that I could speak. I majored in communications in college, and I said, I can speak. And my father said, you can talk. And so I began doing presentations and things in college, and where other people were nervous and freaking out, I didn't care. It didn't bother me to go do a presentation. I would get excited about it because I'm like, I'm ready to go talk. So God blessed me with the gift of speech. I technically, I'm an orator. I can talk to people. I have no problem getting in front of a crowd and speaking to people, as long as I'm prepared anyway. So I can talk to anyone. My mother has been blessed with a beautiful voice, but I know that she's kind of shy sometimes. But growing up, she was asked to sing solos in church all the time, all the time. And I know she would be nervous. And my mom, I love her, but she's got bad nerves. And I know it would make her nervous. But I know that when she was singing and giving God the glory and just doing what God gave her, I know that she was just like glowing. She was glowing when she was singing because she was in her element. She was doing what God already put inside of her to bless people. And whenever my mom would do a solo in church, people would keep calling her back to do it again and again and again. And everybody was like, you have such a beautiful anointing voice, you know? So I say all that to say, whatever gift God has put in you, whatever the calling is, let's be good little Marvel characters and use it for good and not for evil, so that we can escape all the desires and the corruption of this world and stay on that straight and narrow path and do his will. All right. I love you guys. I hope this blessed you. I didn't mean to ramble on so much. But again, go back and go read 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 3 through 4. And then again, read all of 2 Peter, because 2 Peter, 1 Peter and 2 Peter, I feel like I live in those two books because they've got really good stuff in them. So when you have a moment, take the time and read through it. I always say, don't take my word for it. Go read it for yourself. I love you guys. I hope this blessed you. And Lord willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.